Hi, Marble Butterfly here. Hope everybody's doing okay. Having a good weekend. This is going to be a video response to Miss Agnostic Atheist. The response to her my depression, anxiety, and suicidal. Oh gosh, I cannot talk today, so bear with me. Basically to that video response. Anyway, this is directed to you, Miss Agnostic Atheist. First off, I want to tell you I am exactly in your shoes, or was at one point, still am. I have, and I pretty much agree with my diagnostic, even though you've been through your own thing. This is not the case. I just want to do this video to reach out to you and let you know that you are not alone. And I know that may not sound very comfortable right now, but it's the truth. You're not. Because what you're describing now is exactly how I felt and still continue to feel from time to time, though it has gotten better for me. But I want to first let you know that I've been diagnosed as major depressive and anxiety disorder, MD. I think it's MDAD, major depressive and anxiety disorder. And I agree with that. I mean, at first I was diagnosed with GAD, but that exceeded because I would have constant bouts of depression and crying issues and everything else. So you're not alone on that. I know that you've mentioned in your video that you've gotten help and it doesn't seem to work and what have you. And you know what? You make your points where they use the medication as a front. I kind of agree with that there, though in my experience, medication has helped me a great deal. I lack a lot of serotonin. That's one of the medications I'm on is Celexa. That helps boost the serotonin levels in the brain. But medication is not the be-all and be-all in my experience. I went to talk therapy, and though you mentioned that it doesn't help, and it's true, there have been cases where a lot of people go to talk therapists and they don't feel that they're getting, they want to know what's wrong with them, but they don't feel that they're getting the answer. Usually, in this case, what talk therapy helped me with was just to get everything that's in my head out to the person in front of me. I didn't give a shit. I mean, I did this for myself. I didn't give a shit whether she was going to diagnose me or not. I said, I need to get shit off my head. Somebody to just be a neutral party that's not going to tell me things are going to get better, but just to listen. And I think that's one of the main issues is, as you feel that you've stated in your video, you feel that you're not being listened to, and I can totally understand that. Oh my God, you know, the pain of like nobody really gives a rat's ass. They're not gonna, and the sad thing is that it is true, but in my case, is that I have somewhat of a support system. In your case, you are going through a lot of fucking shit right now. You really do not have a support system. You're in a relationship that's very difficult to leave in, and that's really tough because, you know, but at the same time, I know the emotional haggard, and then your environment isn't helping anything, you know. So I do one thing, you know, before I kind of delve into, like, I'm rambling myself, so you're not the only one. This video is going to probably be a bit long. You know, I went to the hospital as well. You know, I learned a lot there. But it took me a while to really get it under control. The truth is, you're going to have it for the rest of your fucking life. The depression, whatever, you've been diagnosed, you're going to have it for the rest of your life. I'm going to have it for the rest of my life. Every day has been a battle, though I will tell you, it does get easier. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is you have to make decisions, because the only person, fuck the world, because the good thing about leaving the JWs and deciding your own path, the reality is the world does fucking suck, though at the same time there are good things in this world. But I'm going to agree with you on the side of the world does fucking suck. You have a bunch of assholes out there that are going to take advantage of you, that are inconsiderate or what have you. But one thing that, that has took me time to learn after I've started my coping with my own, issues and depression, was the only person that I can worry about, as selfish as it sounds, is myself. Here, out. I can't control what's out there. I mean, that's the whole problem, especially being raised as a JW. You're taught to suffer. You're taught that this is how the world is, a Satan system of things. So you're dependent upon going to the meetings and getting that high, believe it or not, to try to sustain yourself every day, instead of learning to deal with the world in front of you. And it is the most scariest, hardest thing, to the point where there is no light at the end of the tunnel, as you said, to the point where you feel so alone, and it's so dark that you just wanted to just end it because it'd be easier. And I know how that feels. And now this segues into my story. I used to go to La La Land in my head a lot. Still kind of do. That's where I get my creative juices sometimes, I like that. But I've done this ever since I was a kid. I still have some low attention issues. That does come from the depression a lot as well. But my breaking point, straw that hit the camel's back, was I think it was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago actually. I had a nervous breakdown at the age of 26. I am now going to be 30. Well, maybe this is a little bit shorter than 6 years, but anyway. I still kind of held on to the beliefs, I'd kind of as a witness, because I was lost. I had really no sense of identity, and no sense of identity at all. And I think that is one of the biggest issues, MsAgnosticatheis, is the fact that there is no identity. And when you have no identity, that's when things get really rough, especially when you have to go out to work every single fucking day and deal with people and struggle with the conditions. Right now, I think, from what I can relate, is you're struggling with a sense of identity to an extent. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just going off of my experience, because I know exactly where you're coming from. I tried to attempt suicide at my job by strangling one of the phone cords around my neck. They contacted my psychiatrist. I was rushed to the hospital. I was put into mental hospital for a while. Not the crazy kind, but it was kind of the good kind, But, it was terrifying. But this is stuff that I'd suffer for years and years on, and it built up, even as a child, from a child to where it became a breaking point at age 26, where I ended up taking 4 pills plus a calmer, like Klonopin or something like that. I was on it, for quite some time. But it was something that I've always knew that I wanted to get well. Some of the symptoms in my case were I would miss school a lot, work a lot. I didn't want to go out to work. I didn't want to go out to school. School, work, you know, when I was a young kid, I would miss a lot of days of school. I would rather sleep. Work was the same thing. I would, you know, make up excuses that I was sick and what have you. I didn't want to face it. But it got to the point where it started to affect my life, especially as you become, you know, you get older and you have to support yourself. It's not easy dealing with the anxiety of people and the world around you, because you're not taught to deal with it. You were taught to fear it and not face it. Just now, 2011, 2012, my life in a big direction has changed. I do feel things are getting a little bit better, even though I myself right now am going through my own problems. There are days where they're great, and there are days where I just feel fucking sad for no reason. I'm not trying I'm not trying to, like, you know, give you a lecture or anything. I'm just trying to tell. I just wanted to tell you that, you know, you are not alone. I'm not going to get tired of hearing you talk, because I know the pain all too well. The pain is very indescribable. It's the worst kind of pain than physical pain. Physical pain, I guess, you know it's there, but the emotional pain, the burden, that cloud, that no words I can say can describe it, to the point where suicide is like the best way out, and I know that so well. There have been periods where I have, and though now it's not as bad, I had a couple of years to kind of gather myself. I don't know what your personal story is, but what I want you to know is that as hard and as fucking shitty as it is, and you know, stick around. Try to stick around. Even if it means you having to make a drastic choice or decision. You have a community here in YouTube that will listen to you no matter what it is. Nobody's going to tell you, oh, we're sick and tired of it. No. And if somebody does, this little society we got going on here is going to kick their asses out, because that ain't going to happen. But I wanted to let you know that my heart is, you're in my heart right now, and I am thinking about you. And you know, it's gonna be a rough ride. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be a fucking horrible, rough ride. But it will get better. You just got to keep trying. Now, I don't know. I know you said that you've tried many sources, but my experience is keep looking for a good, even if it's a talk therapist. You don't even have to go to a shrink. You could go to a talk therapist and just talk and talk and talk. And even though they don't, try not to, in my experience, I tried not to focus on what was wrong with me. I had to find the answers within myself. And that's very hard, especially when you suffer from depression, anxiety. You can't quiet the mind to really look at what's wrong. One advice before I end this video, because now it's about going to head on to 15 minutes long, is I've tried meditation, and that has helped me. I don't know if you're in that stage where it'll be able to help you, but other than that, I send you my friendly love. You can message me. I'll even give you my phone number if you wish. But on behalf of the people, you know, that do suffer from it, I know where you're coming from, and you will always have an ear here. Ciao.